Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 13 of Civilization 5 as Russia. At the moment we're actually starting to win the science race. I think last time I checked there was one civilization that was just slightly ahead of me in tech, but we've got so many research agreements. We've got the porcelain tower. It is taking us a little bit of time to... I was buying wine from you, was I? I guess we'll carry on. So, as I was about to say, stuff. No, completely forgotten. There we go. So we've got a fair few academies. We'll have another academy in 6 turns. We're working on our public schools. We're getting culture at a fairly slow rate because I would like to get the cultural policy within rationalism that gives you even more science from research agreements. But we are catching up. What was that? Gold per turn, incense. He would still like incense. He does have cotton. We don't really need the money. Do you know what? Let's just do a straight swap if he's willing to, and he is. Because the thing is, having extra happiness is good because it does get you closer to golden ages. And being closer to golden ages is good because it's extra gold and it's extra production. So, always worth having, especially when you start to work on those spaceship parts for a science victory, because being able to have that extra 20% production makes a huge deal of difference. So we've got a couple of antiquity sites. In fact, we've got 3 that are all within range. The Netherlands have been itching to get their archaeologists across my borders and nab them from me, but I'm not allowing that to happen, not at all. But we'll go and turn all of those into cultural sites. I mean, we really have to. Our culture's just absolutely terrible at the moment. I do have some archaeologists queued up, but of course the problem is there's so many things that we need to build. Well, Sonia is working on a public school. I'm not too sure. Got a museum and a bank queued up after that, which we probably need to have, really. So I do have to be careful about this. We're still at the bottom of the score table by a long shot. And we don't have any aluminium, so we don't have coal and we don't have aluminium either. Game absolutely hates me. Can't even see any aluminium on my area of the map. Netherlands have probably got loads of it. No, can't see any down there either. That's weird. So where's all the aluminium then? Is it all over on the sort of main bit of land somewhere? Really strange that I can't see any, but that sucks. Well, we're working on radio now. And then we're queued up all the way up to railroad, so we have got some other stuff there. 6 more turns and we get another research agreement. That's the one with William. So this cargo ship can carry on to Groningen. And on to the next turn. I'm just not even bothering with city-states on this particular playthrough. There isn't a huge reason to do so. I see that Spain are still at war with Indonesia. Their privateers are having a little battle off the north coast of Githionia here. 5 turns and that public school will be finished. Now, I do have quite a lot of gold, and I am saving a lot of it up in order to try and get ourselves some more research agreements. I'm just thinking maybe there are some buildings that we can build. Obviously, public school's nearly finished. Ironworks is a wonder, and you can't buy archaeologists, so there's nothing we can do there. Wimble is nearly finished. The Circus Maximus is a wonder, but we can go ahead and buy the zoo. So let's just go ahead and do that. That just shaves a little bit of build time off. And how much is a museum? A museum is $12.50. Let's go ahead and buy the museum. There we go. So it just sort of reduces some of the queues. We are making over 100 gold per turn, so I should have enough gold to get the next research agreement when that one comes around, which will be in 5 turns. So we should be okay there. And how's William doing for money? He's got 600 gold in the bank so far, so providing he doesn't fleet all that away, we should be able to get another research agreement with him. 2 more turns and we will have yet another academy. We can adopt a policy. So we've got 2 choices here. We can either get the 17% science from universities, which is really nice. Plus 1 science from trading posts, which doesn't matter because we don't have any. Plus 1 gold from science buildings, which I really want to get because I want to get scientific revolution as quickly as possible. So we're going to get that one. So 106 gold per turn becomes 121 gold per turn, which is quite nice. Let's look at the tech then. So we are on 47. 46 for Spain, 47 for Persia, 48 for the Netherlands, 45 for Indonesia, 44 for Polynesia, 45 for Byzantium. So it's still the Netherlands that are in the lead. It's only by 1 tech. So if we can get ahead of William, I really should try spying on him, to be honest, although he might get really annoyed if I do. But it might be worth a shot. There again, he is the tech leader, which means he's almost guaranteed to have a words. He is the tech leader, so he's almost guaranteed to have a defensive spy in his capital city. So maybe not. There we go. We've got another great scientist. We've found another city-state. We can 1, 2, 3 put you over here on this tile. Nicolaus Copernicus. And you can... I don't even know what I'm going to do with you. We might just build a lumber mill there, because we haven't built any of those anywhere else. Lumber mills are quite sort of useless, really. So Bactra's managed to go and grab itself the... whichever mount that is, Mount Fuji. It's also grabbed that antiquities site. I didn't think we'd end up getting that one. There is another antiquities site over here, off the coast of which we could possibly grab. Could possibly go out there and grab that one. Definitely need a museum, though, before we lift the great work. But I'll consider that. We can get around there, because we can cut through Yerevan and and go and move over there. Unless somebody else is digging it up, which is always possible. We were providing incense to Polynesia. For what exactly? Was it just for money? Incense for 7 gold per turn? Yep, still willing to do it. No point me hanging on to it. You guys, lumber mill. Just so we've got a couple of extra production tiles. Okay, so now we've got to find where we're going to rob somebody from to work that academy. So we're working any tiles here that aren't particularly great. And start taking them out of here, but we do lose production. I think we'll be fine, though. 350 science per turn is pretty cool. I'm actually liking that quite a bit. So let's go on to the next turn. Spain still has a lot of money, over 15,000 gold. We'll have the public school in Githyonia at the end of this turn. And in 2 more turns, Githyonia is actually going to have a higher population than Moscow. Another 46 turns, we will be grabbing ourselves a great scientist. If that's how long it takes to get one, I think we'll probably be using that one for a science pop. It'll probably be a little bit late for academies. We've already got 5 academies around Moscow now, so we probably don't need any more. We should probably stop working some of those science slots in favour of getting some great people, some artists and whatnot. But we'll see how that turns out. Can't do anything on this turn, so I'm just going to go straight for a next turn. What's that little light blue dot we've got there? Oh, that's Malacca. I see. Fair enough. Circus Maximus. It'll certainly improve the happiness. That was obviously for a research agreement, which we don't need to do. Is that research agreement going to pop? Yeah, it'll pop on this turn. And he's got enough money for us to be able to get another one. So there's the research agreement done. Githyonia has grown. Let's go back and get another research agreement. Research agreement. There we go. Shouldn't cost us anything extra because we're on the same sort of tech. So now he has 49 techs and I have 47. I'm still a little bit behind here. Cargo ship. Well, you don't have a lot of choices of places you can go to now, do you? What have we got here? Incense to Theodora. Gold per turn from William. So we were selling incense to you, were we? Incense, we'll have to take gold per turn because you don't have enough money to buy it. But we are making 137 gold per turn, which is definitely nice. Githyonia has grown. You like working that tile, don't you? It's a pretty poor tile, but that's the one that you are working. I guess probably work that tile because it will become a tile that you'll be working at some point in the future. And on to the next turn. 8 turns we'll have the ironworks there, so we'll have a bit better production. Not too sure what we're going to get with radio, if we're going to try and build the Eiffel Tower. I'm not too sure if it's already gone. It may well have. We'll have a look. There's a possibility we might be able to get Broadway or something. We'll see what happens. And we have that caravan who was going to Amsterdam. We'll carry on with that. It still seems like some of these internal trade routes with the Netherlands are still quite profitable. And we'll just go ahead and get a couple more of these farms. And then we're working our way up to railroad. Once we've got the railroad done, we'll just go down to one worker. Darius is plotting against me. Is he really? Well, he's not really going to get anywhere, so let him. I'm still spying on him, so... Still got declarations of friendship with everybody except Darius. Which is fine by me. We've discovered radio. Now, one thing I did just think of, what I might like to do, is I'm going to take this rifleman. I'm just going to tell him to get... It's going to take him a long time, but I want to get over there and see if that antiquities site's still there, and if it is, I can guard it. We've got a new spy. I think we are actually going to start spying on some of these city-states. Let's start spying on Kaisel and see if we can... We probably won't get to force the Netherlands out, but we've got to do something. We'll get some extra culture if we can do that. So, yeah, let's go and move you to Kaisel. If I can find you on the list. There we go. We might be able to do something with that. You guys, we can build a farm there, actually, because you're next to the oasis. So that's not a bad idea. And how are research agreements doing? 6 turns, we'll get another one with Indonesia. 7 turns, we'll get another one with Spain. And they're all going to benefit from the porcelain tower, so that's really, really good for me. Working on steam power, not something that I particularly want. Although faster embark movement, again, not really something that I'm using. But it does lead to being able to get railroad. Work has begun on an archaeologist in Moscow. We need to choose our ideology. Now... I think we have to go for freedom, because it's what our neighbour's chosen. It does benefit spaceship victory. Let's put it this way. We've got 3 ideologies we can choose from. All of them have been adopted by one person, which means we're only going to get one early adopter tenant. Only freedom and order would give us a benefit towards a spaceship victory. And our neighbour, who also has is culturally influential over us, is Holland, or the Netherlands, who have adopted freedom. So we're going to go for freedom. So we do get a free tenant. And what do we want here? Extra culture from Great Works is nice. Specialists only consume half the amount of food, which is also nice. We don't really need the happiness at the moment. We're good on happiness for now. We don't really need the gold. I think we need the culture. I mean, I don't have a lot of Great Works. But having that extra culture will be really useful for us. Also, having specialists consuming only half of the amount of food. Actually, increasing the rate... In this one, the Avant-Garde, increased the rate that great people are born by 25%. So, our scientist was 41 turns, now down to 46. There's a few different things in there that I would like to get. We'll get them eventually. I do want to finish rationalism first, of course. So, Polynesia has adopted order. So this is where it's now going to start getting difficult getting declarations of friendship. Now people are starting to pick up different ideologies. They're not going to be quite as willing to cooperate with one another as they were before. And what are we waiting for? Not an awful lot. Also, now that we actually have the same ideology as the Netherlands, the chances of them going to war with us are next to nothing. Nothing we can do on that turn either, so we'll just go on to the next one. Polynesia has denounced Persia. There we go, you see, people picking up different ideologies. They're now starting to denounce each other. We've been very friendly with a lot of these civilizations, and we do have research agreements with all of them, so the chances of them actually backstabbing us are fairly low. Like all civilizations in the game, they all have a various strength of the likelihood for them to backstab. I think Spain, Theodora is a big time backstabber. She'll happily stab you in the back, but she loses the research agreement as well, of course, if she does it, so she's unlikely to want to. That's not the best tile for you to work. Let's go and just work like a pure food tile and see if we can't sort of catch up with the growth a little bit. And on to the next turn again. So it's going to be 47 turns before we get our next social policy, and that's where we're going to be able to not finish off rationalism, but to get the policy that allows us to get more science from the research agreements. We've got a couple of research agreements that are due to arrive shortly. And just enough money in the bank to be able to renew them as well. Still, we've got a lot of Persian missionaries coming in through here. Work has begun on the bank. City-state's getting a little bit annoyed because of the shortcuts that I'm taking through their land. Wish I cared, but I don't. I want to go over there and see if that antiquities site's still there, so I can go and get my archaeologist there, my first one. I don't want to waste time moving an archaeologist all the way there to find it's gone, and then have to move the archaeologist all the way back. I'd like to know in advance if it's gone, because if it's gone, I can just start work on one of these as soon as possible and build a cultural site. So that's kind of where I'm going with that plan. Let's go on to the next turn. Hopefully they can cut through pretty quickly. So if it's there, then we'll send an we'll put the rifleman on top of it first, just to hold it for us, and we will then send our first archaeologist there to get a great work. If it's gone, we will just pick up one of the antiquity sites that are close by. So there is a plan. Whether or not I remember in 3 terms' time when that happens is a completely different story. So I'm not too bothered about upsetting the city-states. There we have steam power. We have can't steal from Spain because we eclipse it. I suppose that's true with everybody. We eclipse everybody. We could try, as unlikely as it is, we could try and steal from the Netherlands. It is a big risk. We'll try and steal from... We'll actually try and steal from Rotterdam. I don't know why Amsterdam's got... Rotterdam's got a higher population. We'll try and steal from Rotterdam. We might get our spy killed, but we'll see what happens here. So, research agreement with Indonesia has ended. We should be able to get that back. They're 525 now. We're probably going to need to give him like 1 or 2 gold per turn in order for him to agree to it. Yep. So it's costing us a little bit of extra money there. We don't mind that too much. There's not an awful lot you can do. We still just carry on working on farms. 3 turns for military science. What have we got queued up? Dynamite into railroad. After railroad, we probably want to go into... let's go into plastics. So we'll get replaceable parts so we can get great war infantry. Into plastics, we can get research labs. Now, I just want to quickly check. Let's just have a quick look in Moscow here. We could actually work on the Eiffel Tower or Broadway. They would take a long time to build, though. But that's a lot of tourism we could get from either of those. I'd love to get the Eiffel Tower. I think we will queue it up. We'll go for it. We'll see if it can happen. I'm guessing it probably can't, but we'll try it. We'll just go for it. I'm not sure if we actually have spare marble there. I'm going to refuse that for the time being. Because I don't know where we'd have just got spare marble for. Apparently we do have spare marble because everybody's asking for it. So we'll have to see what we want to trade it for. Maybe we'll just trade it with Spain for salt or silver. Discovered military science. So, Githyonia has grown, and you're working... That's not a bad tile, actually. Carry on with that. Githyonia... In fact, I take that back. Work the public school. So, Githyonia has grown. Research agreement with Spain. So, let's go and get that sorted. She has plenty of money, so... Yep, she's happy to do that. And, does anywhere want salt or silver? No. So, I guess we should just pick one of them up for the happiness. It doesn't really matter which. So, let's just pick up the salt, because she's got more of that than anything else. So, we'll swap that for the marble. There we go. Assign delegates. Choose host. Well, we might as well pick the Netherlands, because they're going to win anyway. So, might as well keep them happy. So, let's go ahead and do that. And this is 6 turns away from dynamite now. So we're about to get our first archaeologist. Got a unit needs orders. You're going to build a farm. So we're about to see whether or not that antiquity site is still there. "30 turns for the great scientist, 30 turns for the pagoda." That pagoda seems to have been taking forever. And when's our next research agreement? 9 turns. And by the time that research agreement pops, we should have enough money to get that back. Well, we definitely will. Unless something really strange happens in the meantime. Work has begun on the Eiffel Tower. Okay, so let's just go and see if it is still there. In fact, it is. So we'll go and guard it. And we have our archaeologist. So this guy is going to get over there. It's going to take him 8 turns. But he will be able to get there. And let's go on to the next turn. So we will still have to work on a few more archaeologists because we want to be able to grab these sites. But we'll lift that great work up. I really hope we get the Eiffel Tower. We don't have a huge amount of production here. Got another ideology adopted, which is Indonesia. Indonesia have gone freedom, which is the same as us. And it looks like, yep, Polynesia and Persia have now gone to war with one another. So that's always fun. Do like it when the AI start fighting each other. It's good for us. It's very good for us. Unit needs orders. Cargo ship. You will carry on going to Ekbatana. I'm just wondering if it's worth getting one of my caravans to run an internal trade route to Moscow and provide it with some additional production. We don't need that anymore. I guess that was the... No, I'm not too sure why we were doing that. Obviously that lasted slightly longer than the research agreement. It's got a little bit out of sync. Indonesia has denounced Persia. Yep, so everyone's going to end up fighting against each other now, which is really nice. You want to go to war with Polynesia. I don't mind if you do. I don't really have any interest in doing it myself. That said... Yeah, his city down near me doesn't really have anything that I want. William's plotting against him. We already know that anyway. That deal has ended. That is fine. We'll go in and sort of throw down for one more turn. Let's go over there and... Not sure whether we want a lumber mill there or whether we want to turn that into another farm. We will be losing a farm or two. Not that we're working them all anyway, so it's a little bit pointless. But I guess having some lumber mills around isn't a bad idea, because when you suddenly decide that you need a lot of production and all you've got is farms, and you're not working them because you don't have enough population, having that extra production is always nice. I definitely need to get the culture up. My culture output is always terrible in these higher level, high difficulty games. Let's go for the lumber mill. And we will just do one more turn. This is the thing, I mean, I have proven that I can beat the game on the high difficulty level. Even if it wasn't the smoothest of victory, I have proven that I can actually win on the high difficulty level. The problem is, for me, I actually find it quite stressful. I do like a little bit of a challenge, don't get me wrong. I don't want to play a game that's so easy I can do it with my eyes closed. But if a game gets so difficult where... This is the thing with Civilization 5, okay? On the high difficulty levels, you pretty much have to micromanage everything on every turn. You have to micromanage the tiles that your population is working, you have to micromanage your workers, and you have to constantly shuffle around build orders to get things out in the right order. You can still win if you don't do that, or if you don't do it very well, but it's very, very stressful. It's the same with EU4. I don't consider myself to be one of the best EU4 players in the world. I'm fairly good at it. I win most of the games that I play. I know most of the mechanics fairly well. And I actually know quite a lot of the little tips and tricks. I know how to micromanage. I know how to min-max in that game. I know how to min-max armies to reduce the amount of attrition and to have the best possible engagement when you're attacking an enemy army. The problem is I just don't like doing it because it becomes boring. It becomes a spreadsheet simulator, and I really don't want to end up doing that. Every single turn, I don't want to have to stop and sort of calculate the optimal the optimal setup for each individual army, because to me that just becomes one, boring, and two, very stressful. So I will carry on as is. Okay, this is going to be the final turn. We are going to get that archaeologist out. We'll set him straight to work on this antiquities site. And we are probably going to have to get another couple of archaeologists. We only need 2 more, because there's only 2 more sites that are in range. Only 2 more that we care about. Netherlands has a great engineer there. It'd be very, very nice if we could grab that. Unfortunately, you can't steal them, which is a bit of a shame. So let's get that archaeologist over there. You are going to start on an archaeological dig. You have finished what you were doing. And as nice as it would be to grab Broadway, I think we do need to get ourselves another couple of archaeologists. So let's get them queued up for now. That's all we can do on this turn, so I'm going to end the video there. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Civilization 5 as Russia. I'll see you on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.